In this lecture, we'll talk about a common studying tool, flashcards. A lot of students use flashcards, but unfortunately, many students also make mistakes with flashcards. First, the three most common mistakes with flashcards. First one is not making your own cards. The process of creating a flashcard is very important. You don't want to just paste dictionary definitions onto a flashcard. You don't actually deeply understand the information this way. When you create your flashcards, you want to create things that express the knowledge in your own words, that transform it in a way that causes you to think a little bit more deeply. When you do this, you start to understand some of the nuance of the material you're learning. This helps you break away from rote memorization and go and move towards deeper encoding. The second mistake is studying in one big session. Frequently, students sit down and just do a cram session with their flashcards. But research has shown that flashcards work much better when you do short sessions spaced over a long time. So instead of doing that hours and hours and hours of cramming the night before a test, you can just do 10-15 minutes here and there, and you'll remember so much more. The third mistake is practicing mindlessly. It's very easy to get into this kind of robotic form when you're using flashcards of just looking and flipping and kind of not even noticing if you're really understanding the material. If you ever catch yourself doing this, then you've been practicing too long. If your mind's wandering, stop. You want to get into a mode where you're actually thinking deeply about each card so that you're guessing and articulating what it means in your own words, in your mind, with every single card that you're looking at. If you're not doing this, then you're not making the most out of your practice session, and you really might as well rest and wait until you can. Finally, I'll talk a little bit about something called spaced repetition, or SRS software. Setting aside some of the research, this is a very effective way to learn with flashcards. There's some software out there, like Anki, for example, that's ANKI, that uses SRS in order to maximize the efficiency of your studies. Basically, it just means that it shows you the cards that you're about to forget as you're about to forget them. This is an extremely effective technique for reasons we've touched on briefly in the earlier lectures. But essentially, due to the decay or forgetting curve of the memory, there's an optimal time to remind you of any piece of material. And this is what SRS and Anki attempt to do. So if you're looking for a good flashcard technique, I highly recommend using one of these pieces of software. The links are in the accompanying blog post.